We're live.
We are live.
So Ron and I thought that we would have a part 2 of our discussion from yesterday. And yesterday was, we were talking about how love is truly the what is being manifested. That is the outcome, and how to be able not just to cope through this, but to be stable through this is by using the power of love. So, Ron, you want to, one of the things that I was thinking about after our conversation is that we're not alone in this, and sometimes it can feel like you are, you get this feeling of just like helplessness and, feeling like the whole world is on your shoulders. And, just feeling that's, helpless and just, like, what can I do? It's just little old me type feeling. And, we're so not alone ever. And especially going through what we are, globally going through, is we have an array of non-physical and physical beings from other dimensions, from other planets, from, these high dimensional beings, I lovingly call them angels, that are here, with all of us personally and globally. They are assisting us. And I would just like to hear some of your thoughts on that, and definitely for us to share what our thoughts are about that. We're not alone in this.
Well, there's a big myth that we are separate from God's source and all that. It is impossible to be separate from God's source, your creator. It's just clearly impossible. We manifest the illusion that we're separate. So the fact that that you can be alone is false. You can't be alone, because God is, I call him God, you can call it source, you can call it whatever you want to call it. It's always with you. It is within you. We are all created through source, God. We are a part of that. We are that energy. Everything in the universe is all energy. It all vibrates. Even when your body passes over, it's still vibrating. It's been scientifically proven. So everything is energy. And as far as continuing on with the love is the most powerful energy in the universe. Source is love. That's how love creates everything. Now, there are different levels of love also. There's sexual love, but like the love that Julie and I have, we love each other. That doesn't mean that we're in a relationship. It's just that we love and respect each other where they're coming from, because we know that love is so deep and open-ended that it's just, once you start doing this work, your mind just expands so much. But where was I going with this?
I love that you said open-ended, because love has no boundaries.
Yeah, there are no boundaries. And it's always expanding, always, constantly evolving. So the type of love that's in the universe now is totally different than the type of the universe 2,000 years ago, or even 100 years ago. It has totally changed. I mean, it's totally different from 10 years ago, 5 years ago. It's just constant, we are just constantly evolving. And our end, the collective of the earth, the vibration is rising, which means that you're awakening more. And even the animals, the plants, everything is evolving. We're going from the 3D, which is 3D reality or material reality, to the 5D consciousness. Some people call it the golden age, some people call it the diamond age, whatever. It's just a different level. You can call it whatever you want, but the world is just evolving.
Exactly. I mean, it's, nothing magical or too woo-woo out there. It's just evolution. And, with the veil is being lifted, that, that stone hard density veil of, consciousness is being lifted and removed just by evolution. I mean, look how far we've come in the last 50 years, 20 years, even 10 years. And part of this evolution is moving towards love. And what we mean by love is that energy that breathes you, that energy that gave you life, because none of us as the personality, Jillian, this personality did not, I have no inkling how I got here, and how my body was made. That love we're talking about is the cells, that trillions of cells in our body that makes up our body, that is being energized by love. And we're talking about the love for your child. Love really has, excuse me, no boundaries to it, and we're moving as a society, as a collective of people, into such profound wisdom of what love is, and coming from the heart and coming from this energy. And then back to what I was previously saying, was that we are truly not alone in this. As the veil is being lifted, that people by the millions all around the world are having, these encounters with these higher beings, these beings that are angelic, and just channeling itself is becoming our norm. I mean, I remember when channeling first came out, just how that was not accepted. That was so taboo. And now, people jokingly just talk about channeling like, it's no big deal, and I just, really wanted to press that point of how much we're being assisted. And, we're moving into that love. So the love, all that you desire, peace on earth, or your personal desires, even, that is all being manifested. And the end result of this event, that is happening globally, it's the inevitability of, manifesting for each person, all the goodness that people desire. That is happening. We were talking about chaos, and it's a really good way of looking at this as like, a storm. You weather the storm, you will get past the storm, and this, the sky is blue and the sun is shining, and so if people, I mean, this works for me, and I is that to know that you're not alone, and it's okay to even ask for, guidance. Because, this is pretty scary stuff, that we're all being kind of, up against that wall. And it really is about letting go and trusting And you know, you're all right to ask, you know, if you call them angels or whatever, and a higher energy, and to ask and know that they're there for you. You know, what is your point of attraction? You know, and this is so easy to move into nowadays. It's like an open invitation for everyone, you know, even if you just play around with the idea. It's like maybe you're skeptical, and just ask, have an open heart and ask for guidance, you know. And I know that you're going to be pleasantly surprised on what will come to you, for you.
Absolutely.
So, you
Yeah.
know,
So
go ahead.
go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. You're gonna say.
I beg to ask, you know, whoever's listening to this, is what is your point of attraction? What are you expecting, you know, out of this event? And by the way, you are happening to the event. The event is not happening to you. And to really ponder that. So where is your point of attraction, your point of perspective? Are you looking for what's going wrong and screwed up and messed up? Because that's going to be your point of attraction. You know, that's what you're going to perceive. Or are you looking at, you know, this is truly a gift, what we're going through and what is going right? What, you know, on a personal level and as a global level, what's good in this? What are the potentials in this? You know, and you will see it. It will start showing up and all, you know, coming out of the woodwork of all the goodness that is arising. I mean, a new world is emerging out of this, Ron. And it's just so gonna be very beautiful, but is it scary? Yeah. I wouldn't lie. I mean, today I heard about my ex-mother-in-law, but she's been hospitalized, you know, and you know, you love people. You know, that's an uncomfortable thing. But when I meditated on that and I went deep with that she had all these angelic beings around her. And, you know, this is what I mean about that they're here, you know, and we have those beings that are always nurturing us, guiding us, assisting us, you know?
Yes. So speaking of your ex-mother-in-law, you know, being in the hospital, I've been getting today because I was like, okay, well, what are we talking about today? You know, how are we going to expand? And I kept getting lost. I'm getting that the people need to know that yes, we are going to lose loved ones this year. It's going to be great pain, but just know that they are following their path that they choose. They are choosing to ascend in a different way than we are. You know, it's just some people just can't take the light and go, okay, I'm done. Just check me out of this. I want to come back at another time, and they will. You know, it's just a cycle. It's just know that they're on their path, that they chose to. They finished their work. They're done. They still love you. You can still connect with them. That'd probably be another teaching, but you can connect with your past, your siblings that have crossed over. It's very possible. So, you know, it's when you lose somebody, just know it's not the end. Yes, it's in the 3D reality. Yes, it's the end. But in the 5D and beyond, it's not the end. You can connect them, and we're evolving, and we're gonna change. So that's probably a little controversial, probably a little over some people's head, but I'm just speaking the truth, what's coming through. So
Yeah, and I mean, we're all one, we're all connected. And,
absolutely,
you know, death is something we've all done a billion trillion times. And even though somebody has reemerged into the non-physical, that you can't separate them from us that is still in the physical. You know, that's
well,
right on.
they're part of your DNA.
Yeah. And I think at the heart of everybody that they know this. And it's nice talking about this kind of topics because, you know, at the heart, everybody knows this, but nobody's really talking about it. And it's something that we all will go through. It's inevitable unless you completely what a Christ like Yahshua was and ascend yourself, but we will all pass, we will all die. And you know, it's the way I look at it, it's number one, it's something that we all have done. It's a natural cycle. And it's being born, but the opposite way. You're going back home where it's pure positive energy, where you came from, you know, and but that energy, you've never been severed from it. You can pinch yourself off from this pure positive energy, this love energy, you know, but you're never disconnected from it. I mean, during this whole pandemic, I've lost 2 uncles, and many people have been hospitalized. And, you know, this is what Ron is, you know, endeavoring to talk a little bit about is there is a lot of people that are losing their loved ones. And certainly we don't want to undermine that because, yeah, I know what it feels like, you know, but at the same time, I know my Uncle Ron, I know my Uncle Tom, I know they're still here assisting us, you know. You know, the feeling I get is that they just did not want to hang out here. And that's their free will. They just didn't want to do this anymore, is what I got from them.
Exactly. You know, and we're not trying to discount grief because that is a natural healing process. We are human beings, and that it is. Please grieve. I mean, because that's just, you know, that means if you're grieving the loss, that means you love them immensely. And that just amplifies the love for them. You know, it's a healing process, and we all have to heal. We don't, you know, it's grieving. No one wants to grieve, but we need to grieve. It's just part of our evolution, unfortunately.
Well, I think that's a bogus program that for us not to grieve. It is natural as breathing. You know, I think I have cried more during this whole, you know, current events than at any other time in my life. And that sensitivity that I feel, I mean, I have a chicken, I eat chickens, we eat chickens that is looking like she's gonna pass. And I mean, it's crazy, but I have just been mourning that chicken, you know, and just want to be a healer so badly. And just, you know, there's your wants from chaos is, you know what you want, you know what you don't want. And that is put in this vortex of creation. You know, you are becoming a higher expanded being when you go through contrast, you go through these undesirable situations. I just put it big time to source that I want to be a healer. I want to heal that chicken, you know? So I just expanded the universe with that, you know? And so, yeah, I mean, when you think about how many people are passing on this planet right now and all the mourning, you know, there is a lot of rockets of desires that are being launched by so many people. That's the movement, Ron. That's what we're going to see on the other side of this, is people are going to be healers. We're not going to be seeing diseases and illnesses like we have been seeing. I mean, we're going to learn about science and about, you know, plant life, and all this is being revealed to us. After the storm passes, it's going to be amazing. Mark my words. You know, the level of consciousness, the level of evolution that we're going to ascend to. You know, ascension just means moving up.
Right. Well, I'm getting that there's military technology that hasn't been passed down yet, as far as healing and helping people, which will come to light probably pretty soon. I'm thinking it may not be this 2021, but probably 2022 or shortly thereafter. It's the truth is being revealed. We'll probably be upset that the powers to be were holding on to this technology, but you know, that's just, we can't control that now. We're evolving, and the truth will be revealed.
And be upset. You know, too many people have got it in, you know, like the spiritual community, that, you know, being mourning, crying, being upset is taboo, is bad. No, 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 no. It is so okay to, otherwise, how are you going to know what you want and what you don't want? You know, there's a lot of energy in emotions, emotion in motion, energy and motion, you know.
One of the keys aspects to manifesting what you truly want is to get into the feeling space. And you know, when you feel that emotion of grief, okay, you don't want that. So possibly in that moment, think of what you do want and think of that feeling. Now, I'm not saying not to grieve, because that is such a natural thing and you need that to heal, but also you need to get in that feeling space to manifest what you truly want.
Exactly. You know, it's a good analogy that, you know, being in despair is like having your hand on a hot burning stove, you know, and you got to know when to remove your hand. It's like, ow, this is hurting too much. At this point, you're burning yourself. You know, let yourself process it out, but don't keep your hand there.
Right. And another thing, when you're in grieving, when you're grieving, you're out of your head and you're in your heart. And that's where you want to be as much as possible. Everything great comes from your heart.
Absolutely.
So that's a good teaching moment. Come from your heart, not your head. Your life will change.
Absolutely. You know, and so many times during this whole event is when I start crying, I don't care if it's over a chicken I'm allowing myself, I give myself the permission slip. Just go ahead and balls out, do what you need to do. But I'm not going to stay there because why? We're vibrational beings. And that is a very low vibration. And so it hurts, you know, and we all innately want to feel good. So just starting a process of, well, what thought can I think that would at least feel better than this despair? And it might be revenge. It might be, you know, angry. It might be, you know, overwhelming, but it feels better than the despair. And then from, you know, overwhelming, what would feel better than overwhelming? And to hope, like, I know I can, you know, I learned all this oregano, there's all this stuff I can feed my chicken. So I'm in hope now. It's like, you know, and these processes work for any circumstance, you know, but absolutely, Ron. I mean, if you're in the grieving, let yourself grieve. God Almighty. I mean, geez, when my dad died, I think I cried for 2 years straight, you know, and I felt so guilty, like I'm not spiritual, you know, and, you know, there's unfortunately that, you know, programming or, you know, a stigma that people have, you know, about these lower emotions. All emotions are good. They are needed for the creation process. You know, the trick is you just don't want to be a manic depressant, you know, you don't want to keep your hand there.
Right. So when my mom died, I go, oh, like I tell people, oh, she wanted to watch over me 24/7 instead of just all the time on the phone. She's always with me to this day, you know, and it's been 15 years. And she's always watching over me. She's always guiding me. You know,
Yes.
every once in a while I feel a little, you know, it's, you know, they're always there. They will never leave you.
Oh, I'm so grateful that you went back to that, because that's what I really wanted to make part 2 video, is that we're not alone. And even if you're experiencing somebody, you know, your loved one that's passed away, they thank you, Ron, because they are always, you can't not, you know, that's one of the reasons I don't like the word I lost so-and-so, because you're confirming they're gone, they're lost, you can't find them. No, they are always with you. And, you know, put it to test, you know, maybe just, if you're skeptical about it, just maybe, you know, just say, I would like to know that you're here with me. Can you show me, or can you tell me, you know, and put that out to the universe, and, you know, trust that that's going to come back to you. Because if you're just doubting and skeptical about it, you're going to miss it, because it might be as simple as a bird that just flies right up in your face, and you're going to feel it, Ron, when, oh, that's my mom. That wasn't just a regular bird. You know, you're good. You're going to miss those, you know, situations,
right.
if you're closed off to it.
Yeah, you'll always get a sign. It might be something, you know, somebody that looks similar, or somebody that drives the same car as they did, or, you know, a license plate. You'll get a sign. You just got to be open to it.
You do. After Dad passed, I was seeing dragonflies. I mean, dragonflies would do the weirdest things. Even one time I was in a restaurant and the dragonfly landed on my plate of food. It was like crazy land with dragonflies. And, you know, when it first started, I don't remember connecting it with Dad, but as time was going on and all these dragonflies, I knew it's like, Dad, you know, but yeah, you'll miss those little insights, those little offerings, those little blessings if you're closed off. So I mean, Ron and I know, we know that we're not alone and that our loved ones are here with us. And they, yeah, they are, you know, escorting us to victory in this global situation we're in. They are, you know, here assisting all of us, escorting all of us to the end results of, you know, we're talking about living on a planet Earth that is so beautiful, from peace to you know, educating our children in schools that are, you know, all about everything that we desire our children to learn in real history. You know, all these bogus stories that we've been told about our origins, all that is going to be revealed, the truth, you know. And I certainly believe we're going to be galactic as well, you know, because there's just no doubt in my mind, I see it too much, that we're being assisted by beings that are high council, from other planets. They're here assisting us. This is a big deal, what's going on Earth. This is universal. This is not just, you know, politics, you know, a pandemic. No, this goes way, way deeper than that.
Yes, and you know, for the person that's watching this that thinks that Julie and I are loony, do your own research. Not from CNN, not from MSN, not from Fox. Do your own research. Because
Absolutely.
the mainstream media is part of the problem. Because they are part of the corrupt society and government.
You know, I'm glad you brought that up, because anybody that is judging me as nuts or conspiracy theorist or whatever name they want to put on me, I don't have the time for that anymore, because there is too many people out there that are wanting this information. This time is so paramount to getting this information out. You know, I was just asking myself before the video, why do I do this? And every time my purest intentions is to get the information out there. It's unselfishly, just for anybody that resonates with this, that I just, you know, I know there is millions upon millions and more every day that are waking up and wanting to know this information.
Right. You know, this, I think it was last week on our talk. You know, I sent you that text from my family member that's a nurse at the hospital, you know, and I sent you the text what's really going on in the hospital. It's totally opposite of what's being portrayed in the news. 100%, 180.
Yeah.
You know, so, you know, I'm not going to get elaborate because the video will probably be taken down if I elaborate on that, but just know that it's 180 degrees from what's being told to you.
Yeah. And people know this at this point.
Nurses in the work in the ER, the CICU, you know, RNs that are in the trenches. So, you know, they're not news media, they're not conspiracists, they're just normal people, just like you and I, trying to earn a living. And yeah, they're fed up with it. They're fed up with the lies in the hospitals. They really are. The real reason that the shortage in the hospitals for nurses and doctors is because they're fed up with the lies. They're like, they're taking travel They can become a travel nurse and not be tied to the hospital and the bureaucracy and make double the money. Why wouldn't they do that? That's the problem with the labor shortage in the hospitals, because they're tired of the BS.
Well, they
So-
dangled a carrot that they can't refuse. And
Mhm.
I want it before we end for my gratitude to all the ones that are in the front line. You know, you are the real change makers. And, you know, I completely honor you, my hat off to you. And, you know, the ones that aren't speaking the truth, that are out there, the amount of courage, I mean, the appreciation that I feel for these people are just bring me to my knees at times. It's like, could you just imagine the courage they have for humanity? You know, so, you know, that leads me back to what I was saying is making this video. Why do I do it? Why, you know, and no,
Right.
I don't feel, you know, to care anymore what people will think about what I'm saying. I'm just letting it rip, all natural here. You know, I just don't think that we need to sit on the fence about this anymore. You know.
Yeah, and I would like to, you know, please don't take my word for it, Jillian's word for it. Do your research and also go within. Come from your heart, because it never lies.
Yes. Yes. Don't go from, oh, I watched that on the news. Go from the heart.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely. Let your heart be your guide.
Now, if there are people out there that can teach you how to get into the heart, but maybe that's another video down the line that Jillian and I do. Maybe we teach you how to get into the heart, so you can get the truth.
That's a
Maybe.
great idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do that. So what, next weekend, we'll put out maybe 2 videos, but we'll put out a couple of videos on the topic, how to get into the heart. That's a great idea.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think
Well,
I just wow. Okay, because I'm doing 2 videos next weekend. Awesome, but that's okay. We're being divinely guided, and that's, if you know, if we help one person, it's worth it.
absolutely.
And I don't care if it's next week, today, 5 years from now. If we help one person out of this, we've done our job.
Absolutely. Oh, Ron, well, okay. I'm going to go ahead and shut this off now. And to all the people, we love you and appreciate you so much.
Namaste.
Namaste.